Hello everybody, hope you're doing well wherever you are. My name is Hassan Khalili and I am BFC's lead coach at the sports school. So today we're just going to be doing a small question and answer session with everybody. Hope you like it. So I'm just going to read out all the questions that have been sent in to me and then I'll answer them one by one. So first question, I play a lot of football with my friends and my ability is quite decent. However, I have never played 11 aside. How will I know if I'm ready to make the switch? So the simplest way to know if you're ready or not is to give 11-a-side a try. The thing about a small-sided game or playing a lot of 5-a-side is it develops your skills a lot of technical skills, solving situations in small spaces, one-on-one. But when it comes to an 11-a-side game, the main difference is the amount of space that you have. So the pitch is at least 3 times bigger than a 5-a-side pitch. So the biggest transition that you have to make both mentally and physically is your awareness of space and how you're going to use that space. So once you are able to get that done, I don't think transitioning from a small-sided game, 5-a-side, etc. to 11-a-side would be that big of a problem. But only when you try it, you will know. So give it a try as soon as you can. Okay, question number 2. I recently tried playing football after a long time. Even though I have not been eating too much junk food or watching too much TV, I felt tired very fast. What could the reason be? I think that's a pretty straightforward answer. Maybe because you've not been playing for a long time, your body needs to get used to it again. So maybe also your fitness levels aren't what you expected them to be, and because you've taken a rest, taken a break for this time, maybe because you have exams or because of the situation that's going on right now, we can't really go out all that much. It's just going to take time for your body to adapt again. And so the more you play, the quicker your body will adapt, and probably in a week, 10 days, 2 weeks max, you should be able to play without having too much of a problem. So go out there, keep playing, and you should be fine in no time. Question 3. I'm from Bangalore and I have recently settled in Kerala. However, I find it difficult to play football as it is very humid. What can I do to acclimatize? Well, the situation in Kerala and in Bangalore is very different climate-wise. Bangalore I think is much higher above sea level compared to Kerala, and Kerala is very humid. So I think the thing you'll have to take into account one is it takes a person maybe 10 to 14 days to acclimatize to a new kind of climate place. But since you moved there permanently, you should be okay in these 2 weeks. And once that time period is up, probably you find things much easier. The second thing is because of the amount of sweat that's going to happen when you're playing football over there, your fluid intake is very important. So it starts before you go into practice, before you start playing. Let's say a couple of hours before that, you start drinking water. So maybe 2 hours before, you drink about a liter of water throughout that 1 hour. And then in an hour before you start practicing, cut down that water intake. Just keep sipping a little bit of water every 15-20 minutes before you go to practice. And again, throughout the practice, every time there's a break in the session, your coach tells you go get some water, go take a small sip and come back. Don't drink too much because then probably your stomach will get full, you feel a little bloated and running will be a problem. The other thing is your physical fitness. So the fitter you are, the easier you will find it despite the conditions. So maybe that's something you can work on outside of just your technical practice. So aside from your 1 hour, 2 hour sessions, whatever, I don't know how much of you train, aside from that, pay some attention to your physical conditioning as well. So the fitter you are, the easier you will find things. And I think lastly, also the kit that you wear when you're playing makes a difference, because when it's very hot, we tend to sweat a lot, and this is just the body's natural process to cool the body down. So if you're wearing something like inners or maybe a thick shirt or something like that, it first of all causes you to heat up faster, and then it prevents the sweat from evaporating. So you should wear light material, light colored material, so it reflects the sunlight, doesn't really absorb it, and that should make things easier when you're training. So hope that helps. Okay, question number 4. Do senior professionals have their own fitness regime apart from the ones that the whole team follows? Is it advisable at my age? I'm 18. I think this is a really good question. And yes, individual players do have tailor-made programs for them. One would be mainly revolving around injuries. So when you played football for such a long time, you would be very, very lucky if you gone through your career without getting injured. And so since most people might have issues, small weaknesses, maybe somebody's left calf is a little tight generally, or they have a problem with the knee, they would have a specific program that's been tailor-made for them to strengthen that part of the body, whatever it may be. So ideally to strengthen it, and then maybe before practice, they would go through a routine, maybe with the physio, where they might get a small massage, they might do some foam rolling, just to get those muscles relaxed and released, and also some strengthening and flexibility exercises. Because you're 18, I don't think it's never too early to start, and also you could do something individually. If you get a professional physio or a trainer to tailor make a program for you, nothing like it. But also remember, if you want to be a professional, you should try and tailor make your program around football. So it's not only going to be lifting weights all the time. You want to add agility drills to it, because you want to add movement to it, because football is not just sprinting in a straight line. There is a lot of stop-start action to it. So let's say you sprint forward, then you have to stop, then you have to turn 90 degrees to the left or right, again make a small sprint. So these are small things that you can involve in your individual training programs that you could do away from the rest of your team. So I don't think it is too early to start. The earlier you start, the better, and hopefully it improves you as a player. So good luck.
Hi guys, there are a few questions which I want to answer. The first question which I want to discuss about is, how do you contact pro clubs from India? How do you become a professional? How do you contact pro clubs is nothing but you have to first join the soccer schools. That is the first step which you can know about the club much better. And from soccer schools, if there are a lot of coaches who would try to spot out the talent in him, then they would try to proceed to another level, that would be going to the elite. And from there, if you have a good talent, so obviously the coaches are trying to push you to another level. So then you will play for youth development academies and then go to the first team. That is how your approach to the pro clubs would be. And how to become a professional. When you talk about professional, it is not a small issue what you're thinking about. It is a career which you want to become a professional footballer. And it is not going to be so easy as you just see the TVs like big stars playing in some kind of matches, or maybe any kind of ISLs or I-Leagues. You have to really work hard for it, because the professional footballers who are trying to play in these leagues are not so easily getting a chance through some kind of coaches or whatever it is. They have worked hard and they are the best amongst the best. So you need to work intensively with proper guidelines under good coaches, and also with good clubs which have a proper structural plan which you can move up. And individually, as a player, you have to take it up seriously, your training sessions, your individual sessions, and what kind of diet, it all, it's an entire exclusive package which you have to take it up seriously to become a professional. And going to the second question is, what is the difference between receiving the ball inside and outside of the foot? When you say the difference, it always relates to the match. Why we try to do and receiving the ball with the inside or the outside in the training sessions, it is always related to the match related. So when you're trying to do some kind of an inside or an outside, it depends upon on the pitch. When you're trying to play maybe a small sided game, or maybe 11 side, or any kind of position which you are trying to play as a defender, as a midfielder, as an attacker, it depends upon which situation you are trying to use that foot. Either you want to screen the opponent and use your inside of the foot, or you want to use the outside of the foot. It depends upon which is the situation you are trying to go through, which kind of pressure you have, and which is the better moment you can use that foot. So improving both is very very important, outside as well as inside. So you have to get trained with pressure, without pressure, trying to see to that which makes you comfortable in that situation to use it. And going to the third question, and the kid is asking about, I'm a goalkeeper, can you tell me if I should concentrate on the different fitness regime? Obviously it is very very important to try to see to that fitness regime, because nowadays what we see in modern football is the goalkeepers are not only technically very good with their hands, but they are very very technically with the football. That plays a bonus extra for every team. As a goalkeeper who's trying to be in that team, who is very very good with his foot as well as with his hands, because when we talk about goalkeepers, we only think about, okay, the goalkeeper is only trying to do a lot of things with his hands. But nowadays, the goalkeeper needs to be fit enough to be agile, to be more flexible, and also very very technically with his foot. So when you talk about fitness regime depends upon how quick you are trying to be on the ground and get up. Different activities, different variations relating to, again coming back to the match situations. Because sometimes if I give an example about goalkeepers just doing 20 dives continuously, but you think in the match you try to do 20 times diving and getting up, diving and getting up. But that is another example which you can do an exercise which helps you to become a little more fitter. But always it depends upon the goalkeeping coach how they are trying to take these exercises which relates to the match. So when we deal with some kind of fitness regime, it depends upon what are the exercises which is going to be useful for you as a goalkeeper, and how it is going to be useful when you are playing a match. So all the fitness, even a gym workout with the weights, which you have to have a good shoulders to throw the ball, even you should have a good lower body, and also slim, so that you have to be more flexible, agile. So these kind of depends upon the physical trainer, goalkeepers trying to apply what kind of exercise which helps them. And the fourth question, the kid says, I'm a left winger, but I'm comfortable playing with my right foot. I play left because it is easier to cut in and shoot with my right. However, I feel I'm unable to cross on the run because my left foot is weaker. How can I change this? First important thing is, as you have agreeing that your left foot is weaker, you have to focus on the left foot more often to become a left winger. And nowadays, if you ask me, we want players with multi-positional players who can play. Why? Because the coach not only depends on one player who can play one position, coach depends on a player who can play multiple positions, because it will help the team. And he can also find out what is your caliber which you can adapt to the situation what the coach needs. So I preferably say nowadays I want the players or maybe the kids to improve with both the foot. Concentrate and also give an equal balance to the weaker foot. So if you want to improve your weaker foot, I would preferably say maximum number of times try to use your weaker foot in your training sessions. And if you want to improve your crosses, whatever you do with your right foot, try to do the same thing with the left foot. And also see to that whatever the situations you want to do it from the right, try to do the same thing with the left. And also find out if the weaker foot, which is your left, try to focus on that, which angle you have to see to that, because when you compare with your right, your technique would be much better than the left. So try to adapt the same thing to the left. And the fifth one is, what is the first step to reach a professional football team? And I don't know how to move forward with my career. I practice daily at my home. I'm working hard enough for moving forward. What should I do? So the first step reaching the professional football team, as I said, first you have to find out wherever you stay, whether you have some kind of if you're in Bangalore, I can say wherever your area is, we have 14 centers. So if you can come to Bangalore, the BFC soccer schools, that would be the first step. Why I'm trying to say Bangalore football soccer schools is Bangalore FC is because we have a proper structure. So if you want to take up professional football very seriously, then you have to come into a soccer school, join the soccer schools, then you have to train there with the other kids. But if you are training every day at home, it doesn't want to be isolation where we can't find out what is your quality, what exactly you have the talent, because football is a team sport. So doing individually at home doesn't help you. So you have to come out, try to join soccer schools, and then you have to come to know where, what is your level of playing style. Then the coaches will try to guide you. From there, that would be the first step to move towards profession. And working hard, I think coaches will, once you try to join the soccer school, then the coaches will try to guide you where you are, because there in every club there would be some kind of an evaluation every quarterly. So according to that, whatever you are lacking with, they will try to help you develop in that.